This is the first video looking at this data response question, which is for 12 marks, and it says, in light of the information provided, assess the case for an increase in the base interest rate set by the Monetary Policy Committee. First thing to do is to see what kind of question it is, and the question word is assess. It's easy to remember this. Look, it's two S's and two S's. It's balanced. You need to have a valuation for this question, but you don't need a conclusion, because you only need a conclusion for your 20-mark question at AS and your 25-mark questions at A-level, the essay questions at the end. So no conclusion for this one, just evaluation. And just to look at the basics for the question itself, increasing the base interest rate set by the Monetary Policy Committee. Remember, the Monetary Policy Committee is part of the Bank of England. It's completely independent from government, and they are setting the base interest rate. They do this approximately every 6 weeks. They meet to do this, and the base interest rate is what feeds through to banks, and the banks use it as a sort of basis for the amount of interest that they charge on a loan and the amount of interest that they give on savings. And if you have a variable rate of interest on your loan or on your savings, and the base interest rate went up, you would have to pay more interest on your loan and you would receive more interest on any savings which are in the bank. And the other thing about this question is that you need to make sure that you do exactly what it says. It says here, in light of the information provided. If you don't refer to the information and you just give theory, you won't get a good mark. They've told you this at the very beginning. The basic thing with any question is that you've got to do exactly what they're telling you to do. So we've got to assess the case for. So the case for an increase in the base interest rate set by the MPC, they're reasons why, yes, they should increase the rate of interest. But then, because you need to have balance, you need to think of some reasons why, no, they shouldn't increase the rate of interest. But remember, at the end, you don't need a conclusion. As you're going through then, you need to make sure that you're putting down your knowledge, your application and your analysis, and that you're evaluating. And generally, I'd recommend that you do that as you go along so that you don't run out of time. And because it's a 12-mark question, you need to be giving yourself 12 minutes in the exam. When you get to the end of your 12 minutes, you need to force yourself to stop and go on to the next question. So the next thing that we'll do in the next video is we'll look at the data and where you find that to be able to answer this question.